So, I just want to say this right now. If you do not own a version of Henry, then what is the matter with you? No. Stop this review right now. Right now. Get up, go out to your nearest toy store, Toys R Us, Kmart, Walmart, I don't care where, even eBay, and buy yourself a Henry. Wooden Henry, Trackmaster Henry, Taken Blade Henry, I don't care. If you think you can call yourself a Thomas fan and not own a version of Henry, then you are a disgrace!
Wooden Railway. Either you love it, or you fucking despise it. I grew up in the fat face era of TWR. You know, when Hit Entertainment took over the Thomas brand in 2003 and everyone said it was terrible. Well, one terrible thing did come out of that time, but that's another discussion. When I was younger, I had a train table which was right below the TV in our old family room. I would stand up on the table and stare right into the screen, my face being like 2 inches away. Autism is one hell of a drug. I also remember going to my grandma's house where she had some 2003 items, along with a 2001 Thomas. At the time, I didn't know it was an older release, but I was attached to that item regardless. I guess this feeling stuck with me, because as time went on, I found myself liking the older TWR releases a lot more than the ones I grew up with. Now don't get me wrong, I still have a soft spot for the post-2002 designs. They are very nostalgic. But after being exposed to earlier and better eras of a toy line, favorites change. Speaking of favorites, Henry's second favorite character behind James. Wow, how original! Let's combine the two. Nice. I'm Steve the Weave, and this is why I love 1996 Wooden Railway Henry. Wooden Railway Henry was released in 1992, along with the other 6 main characters. At the time, they all had a unified set of design choices: flat magnets, tall thin funnels, painted coal details on the tender engines, and staples on the bottom. By 1996, the characters had gone through some slight changes, which included the funnels and magnets becoming more rounded. The round magnets were definitely an improvement because they're stronger than the flat magnets. Taking a look at Henry, we can see these design changes on full display, but when comparing the toy to the model on screen, there are some noticeable inaccuracies. First off, he's far too thin, like no thickness whatsoever. Goddamn starving Marvin looking at. 96 Gordon was thick, but I guess Henry was just so sick that his whole boiler just collapsed in on itself. Second off, bro was inspired by Gordon and James apparently. Like, he thought Fowler tenders were hip and ditched his cool one. Like, what the hell, learning curve? Thankfully, the 2002 redesign fixed both these issues by enlarging the boiler.
Hey, you need to get in shape fast? Wanna look your best? Tired of the other guys getting all the chicks? Bulk up quick with Weight Gain 4000!
Mom, can you get me some Weight Gain 4000?
Okay, Henry. I'll get you some at the store tomorrow.
Sweet!
They also gave him the right tender shape. Also, real quick, what face were they trying to replicate here? It's definitely not based on the early 2000s clip art like Thomas or Edward. Is it this one? It kinda looks like it, sort of. Apart from the cheeks being inflated. Let's take a look at Henry. I've noticed something rather interesting. When looking at the pre-1996 model next to the 1999 model, the shade of green is different, with it being darker on the older model. In my opinion, this makes Henry look more sleek and less like a toy than it already is. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of the smaller plastic funnel. If you disagree with this wacky unpopular opinion, tell me in the comments, which I will totally 100% read. The taller funnel, while inaccurate, makes the model look charming. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that all the inaccuracies make Henry's 90s variants charming. It makes him look that much more different from Gordon, while still being able to look like the character from the show. It's kind of like Cranky being painted gray in his first rendition. Inaccurate, but charming. That's pretty much classic Thomas Wooden Railway. Simple, but charming. So that's why I love the 90s variants of Henry, specifically the 96 one. I won't go into too much detail about the post-2003 releases, since they can get a little interesting. There's many items in this toy line that deserve love and recognition, and this version of Henry is no exception. It can never be tarnished, and will forever be one of my favorite items from Thomas Wooden Railway history.